Glam Kitchen fam, and welcome new viewers. My name is Shantae, and welcome to my kitchen, the Glam Kitchen. Today's top tier recipe is rotisserie chicken cornbread dressing. Here in the Glam Kitchen, I teach you how to make top tier recipes at home. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. Now, y'all know I don't want to waste no time, so let's get y'all cooking. For a full list of the ingredients and a full list of the instructions, make sure that you check out the link in my description box. That's where you'll get all of that information if you miss it. As you can see here, I set my ingredients for my cornbread aside because that is actually what we are going to make first. My recipe cuts time because we're using Jiffy. If you want to make it homemade, babes, do your thing, but we're using Jiffy for this recipe. Let's get this cornbread together. I am using 2 boxes of Jiffy cornbread mix. Add 1 cup of buttermilk or milk. You can use either or. 1 teaspoon of white sugar. This is optional, but I feel like it levels out all of the flavors. Add 2 eggs. Go ahead and mix this well. Mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. As you can see here, my cornbread batter is looking thicker than a Snicker, but it's cool. It's all gonna work out at the end, okay? Now, I love Baker's Joy, okay? So spray some Baker's Joy in a pan before you pour that cornbread batter in. Also, make sure that your oven is preheated to 375 degrees. We are going to bake this cornbread at 375 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes or until it is completely done. Now, I want to show you how I cut my celery. I know in a lot of my videos, like all of my veggies are usually pre-cut, but I definitely just wanted to go in a little more detail and show y'all how I actually cut these things up. So here's how I cut celery. Funny thing about my gloves, I ordered my gloves and I got the wrong size, so they looking real baggy. So please excuse the baggy pink gloves. I'm still gonna use them though, so y'all just gonna have to get these baggy pink gloves on these next videos. As you can see here, I'm getting my slice and dice on. You want to cut about 2 cups of celery. I reached 2 cups. Now I can set this aside and continue to chop my other veggies. I dumped them in this bowl. I'm actually going to put all of my chopped veggies in the same bowl. Next, you want to cut up a medium red bell pepper. I'm going in. I am finely dicing these. Again, you don't want like big chunks of red bell pepper. You want little pieces of bell pepper. So make sure you're finely dicing these. I added my diced up red bell pepper to that bowl. Now let's go to the next veggie. You want to slice and dice 1 medium orange bell pepper. And again, I like to finely dice these up because I don't like big chunks of veggies in my dressing. I think it's just better when they're finely chopped. Next, I cut up a half a medium sweet onion. So not a whole sweet onion, half of the sweet onion. I'm going in just trying to dice them a little finer before I put them in the bowl. All of our veggies are cut up and our cornbread is done. Now let's go ahead and get this rotisserie chicken shredded. My recipe for rotisserie cornbread dressing is for everybody who wants to cut time on dressing but still wants a bomb dressing. In a traditional chicken cornbread dressing recipe, you would actually make a homemade broth. You would actually prepare the chicken yourself. We're not doing all that. We're using a store-bought rotisserie chicken to cut that time, okay? So what I'm doing here is I am taking off pieces of the chicken and I'm gonna shred it with my hands, just like that. Now, this was a pretty good sized chicken, so I didn't need to use the whole chicken. I am using 3 to 4 cups of the shredded chicken. So, again, for me, that was only the actual chicken breast, not the whole chicken. And just like that, the chicken is shredded. Now we're gonna set that aside. It's quite a few steps to this recipe, but child, it's gonna be worth it. Next, I want you to heat 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil and then add your veggies and some garlic paste and saute that for about 5 to 7 minutes. As you can see, I'm just sauteing them. We don't want them to be super hard. We really want to soften them up a little bit before we combine our dressing. When your cornbread is cooled, go ahead and crumble it up. Definitely finely crumble that cornbread. Our cornbread is all crumbled, and now it's time to put our dressing together. Add your pan of crumbled cornbread to a large bowl. Add your pot of sauteed veggies to that bowl as well. Add 3 cracked eggs. One stick of unsalted butter. Don't use salted butter, unsalted, please. Go ahead and give this a nice stir. Add 1 can of cream of chicken soup. I use the cream of chicken with herbs soup and the size 10.5 ounce can. Then add 1 can of cream of celery soup. If you want to use 2 cream of chickens, you can. You want to then give this a good stir. Add 2 cups of unsalted chicken broth. You don't want to use regular chicken broth because we're actually going to add seasonings to this, and a lot of the other items in this dressing already have sodium. Now we're going to add our shredded chicken. So add that and then give it a good mix. Take your time, make sure you mix this well. We want this chicken all up and through this dressing. Here's the major key. You need the Glam Kitchen all-purpose adobo seasoning. And you also need the rotisserie chicken seasoning by McCormick. These 2 things, baby, are gonna make it top tier. All right, let's season this dressing. I went in with 1 1/4 teaspoon of the Glam Kitchen all-purpose seasoning, and then 3 teaspoons of the McCormick rotisserie chicken. A little ground black pepper. I use 1/8 teaspoon of that. Some garlic powder. I mean, is it really like a Southern soul food recipe if you don't use garlic powder? I added 2 teaspoons of sage and 2 teaspoons of thyme. The way I drug that out was actually pretty goofy. It's thyme. Okay, so we're gonna mix this up again. Mix it well. We want the seasonings evenly distributed all up and through our bowl of dressing. Even with me cutting the cook time by using store-bought broth and store-bought chicken, this still takes a little time, but I promise it is so worth it. It's just delicious. And because we cut the time, you can make this year round. Like, you don't only have to have it be the holidays to make this. All right, I greased 2 pans with some olive oil spray, and I'm gonna add in my dressing. Our oven should still be preheated at 375. And y'all, we are gonna bake these for 45 to 50 minutes, again on 375 degrees. So yeah, let's bake it. Now, to make sure that it is fully cooked, you can test this with a toothpick. Just stick it in the middle, and if it comes back out clean, you know your dressing is done. And there you have it, rotisserie chicken cornbread dressing. This looks so good. This recipe is shorter on time than the traditional chicken cornbread dressing recipe, but it is not short on flavor. Dry dressing where? We don't do dry dressing over here, okay? That is a wrap on another top tier recipe. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Bye bye.